Hi there. So today we're doing a reading. Sorry about the word noise. That's this. And the other one is the fan because we're having a heat wave at the moment. Um, so I'm trying to save power. I can turn it off. And it's cute, but it's a bit distracting noise. So, okay. First card I put out is the Chariot. The deck I'm using is by Doreen Virtue Radley Valentine. It's called the Fairy Oracle Fairy Tarot deck. First card I put is the Chariot, which is to do with for me, it's Sagittarian card. It says success from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. So you may be in the spotlight as in you may have your own big huge platform, or you may be a person that performs on stage. It could be a singer, an actor in front of film. You may make pictures like motion pictures. It's pointing out that you're trying to steer between your normally positive self and your negative processes, which cause you to go and do things that aren't really great for your body. So it's talking about trying to get depression under control by lifting your spirits, by doing something that makes you happy, like listening to music or watching a funny movie, going for a walk, spending time with people, maybe volunteering at someone, volunteering your time or your knowledge, which is really something which I find what brings people together. This time of year, especially, a lot of people are doing it tough, and Christmas is not going to be this mad affair where people are spending like drunken sailors because no one's got any money, and the economy's pretty bad, so it can be very hard trying to give kids as well when they want things and their parents can't afford them, and it's just an endless cycle of guilt that I can remember as a single parent not being able to provide the things I wanted to provide for my kids, Or the other worry was I would work extra to get more money around this time of the year. It was a nightmare because I wasn't home with my children. I was too busy trying to work to make ends meet. I was doing other people's shifts because they wanted to go on holidays, and it wasn't always the case. Christmas time, you couldn't go on holidays because it was a blackout period in the cosmetic world. You could not take holidays between, I think it's November through till January. So I wouldn't even do Christmas with my kids and my family. I had to wait till January to come down. The next card I put is the Nine of Wands. Now this is talking about protecting the fruits of your labour. This is likely what the ladybugs, it's a sign of luck. In Thailand, ladybugs were considered extremely lucky. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. So you may be trying to find ways to use less water, electricity. Like I'm using a fan. I've got an aircon, but I'm just choosing not to use it. We've got solar panels, and I happen to share with like 7 other people in the building. Well, actually, 2 couples, so it'd be more than you like 11 people in the building. So the Nine of Wands is talking about conserving the fisheries, environmental packaging, making sure you recycle things, give to charity. Like I'm about to empty a storage bin out, which is full of like a whole house full, a 3-bedroom house full of furniture is in there. I'm dreading going through it, but I have to, because when I donate the fridge to Nova for women, then I'm also going to donate the cutlery and all the kitchen stuff that people might use that might just need to start up again because they're running from domestic violence. And I think I did the last time I did this because I thought I would have moved and had a house by now. It just didn't work out like that. So I've still got this bridge that I've been hanging on to for dear life. So when my son moves out of the bridge, I don't know if he can do that, but at this stage I don't know what he's going to do. So I can't afford to keep paying for it, and I want someone else to have it that needs it more than him. Okay, so it's talking about conserving your energy, conserving your time, water usage, electricity, things like that. The next card I've got on the bottom is the Lovers card. So this is like, for me, you could have been involved with someone in the military, you've got that military pilot, but also depicts courage and devotion to a cause, like in the military, you're married to the job pretty much, and then some of them used to leave, they get married and they fly out to the war, in World War, back in World War II, and that's what this is kind of symbolising. Choices made from the heart and return to good health. That's talking about that. Always reminds me of Cinderella. See her face, the way she got painted. they've depicted her face. It just looks like Cinderella, her face shape. Then we've got here its background. And a lot of can also represent a choice between a younger person and a more mature person. What I've got here is a renewal card. This is to review the past and present so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. This could talk about deciding whether to do old and traditional values as opposed to new values or new ways of looking at life and thinking. And in order to be a ruler or a king or a prince or a princess, in this current 21st century, we're navigating between trying to keep traditions and also trying to move forward with the times so that we don't get left behind. I was meant to go to a computer course today, but I'm not feeling so great. I was a bit sick the last 2 nights, so I'm just thinking, best to keep away from people. So I'm hibernating, doing a self-imposed hibernation. The next card I got is the balance card. Now that would be for balancing out your male and feminine qualities. So you may have a Libran that you're involved with. I've got a son that's a Libran, and it's talking about balancing. He's got a lot of, well, he's a male, but everyone's got male and female energy. So it's talking about trying to be in touch with both of them. Yes, you can be tough and alpha male, but you can also have to temper that with compassion and patience and your emotions. I was listening to this YouTube channel today. It's another fellow spiritual community, and she talked about being compassionate towards others, and that if you don't show your feelings, then you become hollow because you haven't expressed how you feel, and it can come out as anger rather than fear. So it's talking about trying to express your emotions in a positive way, not in a negative, fear-based way, by being angry and argumentative. And if you can somehow express your emotions through music, through writing, journaling. I know I've been journaling for quite some time now. I get very strong impressions when I'm sick for some reason. I seem to get, because I get really hot, that's when I start astral traveling. So I had an impression of my mum. We've recently lost my grandmother. That would be 12 months ago this January, and it's a hard time leaving for her, and it's a hard time for everyone in the family. And so she came to me and she was telling me what was wrong with my mum, and when she had back in the day, she had an injury, called it a stroke, a mini stroke, hypertension, did too much, was overdoing it. So when my mum did the lawns the other day, I said, don't do the lawns without lots of water. Be careful, don't go too hard. Don't go too hard, go hard, go home. Let me come and help. But no, she did it herself. She's too independent for her own good. I'm like that, I understand, but I wish I could have been over there. My grandmother came to me and said, what were you thinking? She didn't speak to me. She doesn't speak to me. She's dead. But she shows me images of where the problem lay in the physical body, like where her injury was the first time she had a stroke when she was in her early 40s, I think it was. And it was from dehydration. It was just because she went really hard at the lawns, didn't drink enough water, and was dehydrated and had a turn. Luckily, I turned up. So it's saying here, balance out your aggressive tendencies. We've all got tempers. Try and do it in a positive way, balancing those emotions and looking at from a balanced viewpoint rather than a one-size-fits-all. When you're in a court of law, there's no such thing as black and white. There's lots of shades of grey. I've become more grey. I used to be very black and white, but I've learned that sometimes you need to sprinkle that fairy dust with some grey, some logic and reason rather than just hard yes, hard no. It's also talking about in the future you may have something hidden from you yet to be revealed. Someone that could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The moon generally rules Cancer. So the moon, because Cancerians are ruled by the moon, they change their face, their mood changes every single day, like the phases of the moon. I think we're coming up for a big moon soon. I can't remember when. I can look at the date on the calendar, but I'm pretty sure there's one coming up in December. Just not sure. I'll just tell you if it means on this particular calendar, but I'm pretty sure there's a big one coming. It's Sagittarian thing. And that can also upset the apple cart. It's saying that sometimes we may look at something one way. So she's got a mandolin there, but when she looks in the water, she's got a harp. I don't know if you can see, it's really hard to see because the light might be difficult to see. So it's saying that you might look at one thing at one light, and then a couple of days later, it turns and it becomes something completely different. Something is hidden and yet to be revealed. Understanding the truth of the situation, letting go of worry and fear is what it's saying. Because worry and fear brings out anger. I notice this with men, and particularly with boys. I've got 2 grown boys. And when they're cranky, it's because it's fear-based, it's fear energy. And instead of going, I'm upset, they just get angry. Because it's the fear is the anger or the protectiveness of them. So this is what I discovered having boys. The best thing I ever did was have boys, because I never understood men until I had 2 boys. And then I was able to finally understand how men think, and it's completely different to what I knew about. How women look at life is different to how men look at life. We're chatting about when you go on a date, do you get nervous? And my son's going, yeah, boys are extremely self-conscious of how they look and how they appear and how they come across, and if they're, not too aggressive. And I said, how do you read your energy? Like, how do you know when it's okay to go and kiss a girl, like it's consent and it's yes or no? And sometimes a girl will change her mind and doesn't want to do anything or whatever that is in an intimate way. So how do you judge that? Do you check in a couple of times? Like, just, are you sure this is what you are up? Did you say something like that? And they said, yeah, but we have to be super alert because we're men. And it can be seen as stepping over a barrier, a boundary. So that was interesting to hear from that. Then what you've got is 4 of Wands. This is being breakthrough. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness and contented personal life. This could be you moving to a new home, or someone may be moving into your home. That share apartments. It's also talking about a wedding. You could be going to a wedding. You could be celebrating someone's Christmas party. I don't know, a get together. It's saying celebrating with friends. And here you've got around you, which is you're coming up this year, is the King of Wands, which is a theatrical, wise, inspiring, financial mentor. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. Now, he's got many beehives there he's tending to. He likes to keep busy. He's a very grumpy, bored prince if he's bored. So you've got to keep this prince extremely busy so he doesn't have time to realise he's bored. He likes to keep busy. That's what it's saying. So he probably is the sort of person that likes to go on road trips, and that helps him with his mind to process things. When you go on a road trip, you get to see the scenery, wide open spaces, helps to clear the cobwebs out of the brain, out of the emotions. I find when I go for a walk, I listen to the sounds of the forest, and I smell the trees, and I see colour and bird life, and all that for me is healing. It's very meditative. I need to do that through meditation to process my emotions, which are big emotions. The special needs person that has never got diagnosed, but yeah, I'm pretty much ADHD. And in females, it's very easy to overlook. I got told. I think it's easier to point it out in a boy than what it is in a girl. So there you go. So I've got here Tiger's Eye for the fact that you could have someone around you that's either a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, but so I get attracted to being Leo, like being in the spotlight. I'm thinking it's a Leo specifically. So I've got the Tiger's Eye for protection. It's fire activated. And with fire, air can whip up fire really quick. So if you're an air sign and you're invested or they're interested in you and they're a fire sign, wow, you're going to have some real doozies when it comes to temper tantrums and fights. But with fire, they get rolled up real quick. But then it goes really quick too. It's just it's just one big thing and then it's over. If you're an emotional person like me, you'll hold on to that argument and you'll hold a grudge and you won't speak. You will just avoid the issue and go deep in because you've got huge emotions that you don't know how to process. Very difficult to have a fight with someone that's got deep emotional wounds and triggers like PTSD. So I can honestly say certain things that sounds trigger me. It's not fun. Then we've got the 6 of Cups. Now, this is hopes and fears. You're going to run into people from childhood or return to people or romances from the past. We are going into Mercury retrograde this month and we're still in it. And that can affect things like electricity. I've had issues with all my technological iPads, phone, it's all because of Mercury retrograde. My mum's got no electricity. Her television's not working because we've got this new system where all the televisions are not compatible going into the 5G. I think that's why. I don't know. The televisions are no longer picking up certain TV stations, and so I had to learn. I went through a computer course recently, and they taught me how to get Channel 9 on the phone. So I'm going to show my mum how to do it. Then she can watch television on the phone. So what I want to work on. So that's to do with children or childhood, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. Yeah, you could be running into someone or dreaming about someone. I dreamt about my best friend when I was working at McDonald's. And I met her on the bus, and I was 16, and her name was Jenny. And she was coming from a medical reception job. And I had this huge big gorilla that I had been given by my dad for my 16th birthday. It was gorgeous and a big bunch of roses. My mum's still got my huge gorilla. I haven't taken it back off her because I moved around so much, so I left it with her. I think it was safe with her. But he still lives in her bedroom on a chair. And so the gorilla, and that's what the talking point was. Oh, wow, what is that? Oh my God, is it your birthday? I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. That's how we got to talking. But it's just the littlest thing that sticks in my memory. And like it was only yesterday. And I dreamt about her last night. I thought, that's unusual. I've never dreamed about her. Hadn't seen her in about a couple of years now. She went through some pretty tough times in her life, and I was there for her. And she's been there for me when I've been through some tough times, but we've just kind of lost contact. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on with me that I can write a book on what I've gone through in the last 4 or 5 years since COVID. I'm pretty sure people have got some horrific stories to talk about as well. But she was going to be my bridesmaid. If I was to get married, Jen was going to be my bridesmaid. So I dreamt about her. I dreamt about my best friend, Tanya, who I used to be very good friends with. She's a Scorpion. And I haven't spoken to her for a while. I had different things, emotional things I was going through, grief and loss, and I just pushed everyone away because I didn't want to deal with anyone. I didn't want anyone to know, and I was extremely embarrassed about the position I found myself in, and I guess I just pushed everyone away. I'm trying not to do that because sometimes people just want to help, they just want to be in need. But if you're a proud person like me, you struggle to ask for help, and that's what I struggle with. So, yeah, I'm going to try and be a better person to reach out when I'm struggling. This 1 year's resolution to ask for help when I need help. Being a trauma, when you suffer with trauma, they say these people don't reach out. That's why they're fiercely independent, because they've had trauma in their life. It makes sense to be independent because you rely on yourself and only you, because you know that you're not going to let you down, but other people have. 6 of Pentacles, that's a good card to pull. This is talking about giving back. Volunteering your time, your knowledge on subjects, your, unexpected inflow of money. The good you do comes back to you, and borrowing or repaying a debt. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm repaying a debt. When I was in the shelter for women, Nova, they were amazing for me. They were the people that looked after me during all this stuff. And if I didn't have those people to get me through every day, there's one lady in particular, her name is Tanika. And she was the cleaner that used to come in and check on everyone, because we all had our separate rooms with locks on the doors and the whole thing. It was a safe house. But if I didn't have her to get through the toughest days, I don't know if I would have survived. She was just a breath of fresh air. She was going through her own stuff at the time, and we kind of both understood each other, and we became friends. I hadn't spoken to her in a while, I'll be honest with you, but she's a very busy girl, and she's got kids as well, and a single mom as well. I haven't called her because I felt like I was crossing some type of boundary, because, I met her at where I was, and I just thought it may have been a conflict of interest, and I just decided not to reach out anymore. I thought, I know where she works, I can go and see her at the same house if I wanted to, but I'm going to try and do it before Christmas. We're coming up about 4 weeks. So some of you may be going overseas. I've got a son going to Japan in about 4 weeks' time. No, sorry, a week and a half. And he's a bit stressed, and he's a bit cranky, he's a bit crabby because he's stressed. He's wondering how he's going to do it all You know, it's a big jump. He's got to try and drive a car to Sydney and then get an Uber in time to catch the flight. So it's all the timing thing, you know. And if you're going through customs, it's a freaking nightmare. And he's worried about missing his plane, which I don't like. So, you know, he's a bit stressed. But we'll see. We'll see how he goes. I think he'll be okay. He's going with his best friend, who's also a water sign, a scorpion. They get on like a house on fire. Like he's got a brother that's a scorpion, and he doesn't get along with him. They fight like cat and dog, but they love each other. Somehow Librans, Scorpios understand each other. Okay. Oh, well, it's saying it's not for you. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but maybe we can make some light of it. And all that glitters is not gold. Well, that's a really good sign too. Okay, so that's from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. And I'm going to pull two from the other decks that I've got here, and into for Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Selena Bennett. I wonder if she's related to the boxer. I'm not sure. But I do know that she's a brilliant illustrator. It's amazing. My son's recently gone back into doing drawing artwork, and I think that's really cool because he needs to express himself. And sometimes the best way to express yourself is through drawing, reading, singing, making something. Fishing is a good way to meditate. Watching a good movie, reading a good book. Yeah, expression is really important. Acting is a form of expression. Singing is a form of expression. It's a doing action. And most Sagittarians, I know, because we're coming to Sagittarius season, we're in Sagittarius season now, they love to be active. They're very good sportsmen, I found. Oh, you got Barnabas and the Prince. Travel. Some of you may be traveling. If you're a fire sign. And if it's rain too, because when you see a frog, they say a frog symbolises rain. So maybe we're going to get some more rain. Yeah, that's this one. A special place. Yeah, that's good. I like that card. This is talking about taking time out and hibernating when you need to when you're not well, because you don't want to go somewhere when you're not well and then spread that problem with other people. Sometimes I find too, certain places like shopping centres, terrible shopping centres, all that light and sound, I think this had a band. There's songs over there, all that light and all that sound, yeah. Can't think of his name. Chris Martin leads the band. Yeah. Coldplay. He says all that light and all that sound, and it's how it is. I find it just too much for me. I find it overwhelming. I don't know how children go. It's when you hear them screaming at Christmas time because they can't stand it. It's overstimulation, and I'm the same person. I can't do it anymore. I start to freak out. I start to hyperventilate, and blood pressure goes through the roof, and I'm stressed with shopping centres now. I try to avoid them. I go to small shopping centres I can deal with, but not huge ones. Like I can work at Katara, not a problem. Charlestown, I find it overwhelming. I can't do it. I avoid it like the plague. Okay, so 6. A clear knowing that something is being denied you. Rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game, and you feel just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now. That indeed your dreams of the exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Some of the relationships carry a natural seed of failure in them that is obvious from the beginning, but the red flags escape your observation and you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it is not possible to make it be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by God. If you are the one who must reject another, remember that you do it for both your sakes. For every plot there is a lead. This one may not be the best fit for you. You can strategize and project and systemize and invest all your time and energy, but sometimes your best laid plans seem to go awry in spite of it all. Keep in mind that no effort is wasted. Fail fast and learn from defeat. Then keep going. You'll eventually succeed, although perhaps not at this stage, not at this time. Know when to hold your cards. Yeah, that's very true. All that glitters is number 16. This talks about that we don't need objects. We're in Christmas, right? Sleep excess, sex, drugs, and rock and roll is what is ruling Capricorn, which is a devil energy. So yeah, which is basically saying don't succumb to having to buy big fancy things when you can buy something as little like as this beautiful little lamp with the auntie. And that brings such joy to me because it reminds me of a simpler time when I was young. I still loved snowballs. Do you remember? That's something I'm bringing up present too. But you know, it's the little things. This doesn't have to be big, flashy, or the bells and whistles. It can be just something small and something that is a reminder when I was a kid. That means more to me than some fancy thing. You know, I'm not flashy. I'm pretty low key. I used to be flashy. I'm not that person anymore. Okay, it's only human to want to adorn yourself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of yourself. It's a natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny there is a statement of rebellion, but if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, a stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing, or do they? The truth is, the truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. That's so true. The card signals that it's time to see beyond the ignorance and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all that glitter is gone and you still desire the object of the person. Sometimes we try to become something we're not to impress others. We embellish a story a bit, adding some dramatic elements to make us look more appealing. The real person becomes hidden behind the sparkle and the shine. Then there are times when we don't see the true value of someone else because he or she may not have the glitz and glamour that seems so desirable. Now is the time to look past the surface, beyond the mask, to the essence of the person, who that person is, not what he or she has or can give you. It's important to see beyond the glitter and look for the inner glow. Use the eyes in your heart. Yes, listen to your heart. There's another song, Brainstorm, I'm holding time up. Listen to your heart. Or was it? No, as Rock said. Listen to your heart, it's calling for you. Yep, let go of artifice and let what is authentic shine. Sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold that you just can't resist it, especially when it appears others are doing so well and have hit the mother lode. During the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune, and then deserted entire towns after the mine depleted the gold veins in the earth. So too can you deplete yourself as you chase after the latest shiny thing that has caught your eye. There is a material quality to your present circumstances. Pay no attention to those who chase after fool's gold. Resist the temptation to be jealous of others. What they have achieved may not be the true success you seek, so don't compare yourself to them. Only see the surface right now, only the sparkle. Be assured that you will experience your own shining moment if you stick to what you know. All the glitters may not be gold for you. It's very true. And then we've got Barnabas and Prince. This is to do with, it's an 11. It's an opening portal. We haven't gone into the 11th of December yet, so this might be something happening by the 11th of December. Yeah. You may run into someone from the past. I know I ran into a lady I haven't seen since months, like over 8 months ago. I just found that I wasn't helping by being there. I found that sometimes you can do some counselling and it'll help you, and sometimes it's like picking a wound. And you keep picking it until it becomes a scab, and then it's a scar, and it's not healing anymore. It's now a scar. It's a permanent scar. I found that it worked. It was really good for the time I did it, but now I don't want to go back there. I think I've got to jump to a different point. A dream, a vocation, success, or purposeful activity is reaching out for you, just as you have reached out for it. Use the power of the voice to call out for it. Let the world and the natural world know that you wish for them to deliver. Seeking out a mate, actively searching for a soulmate, searching for you, synchronicity. In order for you to be in alignment with your dream, for your dream to dream, you must be walking the right path and in the right place at the right time. So this card reminds you that staying in the present comfort zone will not bring about which is your heart, in your heart you yearn for. You must become active and create. It also reminds you that travel and adventure can bring about soul growth and will let your soul grow stronger. And it is in a way that your soul can find you. Have no fear, the drought will be broken, but you must be an adventurer. Your tears will cleanse the way. You'll change several times throughout this lifetime. Reincarnating is one within the one life. You do not need to die to go home or be with the one you love. What kind of transportation do you use? Maybe time for a rethink. There you go. And it said that, yeah, meeting destiny, travel, adventures, discovery. You may decide to go on a trip somewhere. And you might find this person, this soulmate, in a different country. That's possible. He knows he will find the missing part. He will know, though, that when he finds his true love, because the frog will sing the song when she is reached. See, in the roar of the frog, their voice heralds a downpour. It's rain. The refreshing rain quenches the thirst of the dry earth. For Barnabas, a seeker, and a prince on a quest, his dream is about to be realised. So when you receive this card and you read it, you know that your quest and your search is going to create the opportunities and there'll be a successful end. Listen to the song of the natural world. When you hear it, that is when you know your wish has been granted. You need to request to see your search as a journey, an adventure, and even travel to go where you are being guided to bring about the realisation of your dream. The way to find love, adventure, peace, and mystery is to be brave and go finally on a quest. Yeah. Searching for, as I said to my son, sometimes you don't, not meant to meet the person because you're not in the right headspace to meet that person. If you're overworked and stressed out, or your job is consuming your whole life, with your work full time, it becomes a really hard thing to get work-life balance. This is what we're talking about. And I said the same thing when I was working full time. I had no time this time a year ago to go and see my grandmother because she was in the nursing home. And yes, I made a lot of money. Yes, I loved working because I hadn't worked in a while. But I missed out on that most important thing, which was to see my grandmother before she passed away. I said I can't do a shift and gone up and seen her. I'd have made time. It's all coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? But I still feel terrible. Didn't even go to a funeral. Couldn't go to a funeral. I was too upset. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. Once I start, it's a very emotional person. If I cry, it's like a floodgate of water. It is like a downpour, and I can't switch it off. I didn't want to make people worse. If I went there, I would have made people and things a lot worse. I was already emotional about the whole situation and how they went about it. And, it was awful. So, I regret that. Right, this is her special place. Find your own safe space inside and out. 16. It's difficult being able to still feel and sense people that have passed over. If you're a psychic medium, as I am, I've watched lots of stuff about being a psychic medium through Alison Dwyer, because she's been helping with a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to fix or process or understand it and turn it off and how to deal with it. So I've been watching lots of YouTube channels with her talking about when the dead pass away, how to process it all. It's been very helpful. So thank you very much, Alison. Right, okay. Your special place can signal a need for solitude and quiet, a break from busyness, from strife, stress. Find a way in which you respond with healing and love and give those things to yourself. Take a break from hearing about natural disasters, creating an oasis where only sun can enter and only enjoy meditation. Yeah, I think your space to yourself, your sanctuary. The card can signal a need for a haven and a sanctuary where you can escape, commune with your emotions and have some time out that will refresh and restore you when you re-enter the world. This is a time of introversion, not of sadness, but of turning towards the oasis, the sanctuary, and the peace that exists within. We are all born with this place within us. It's simply that we sometimes forget or lose our connection with it. Drawing this card could simply say that it's time to put energy into creating your own special place. A room or a home or a space to work where you feel safe, creating without judgment. This card can also signify that you are healing from health and emotional issues which you've worked hard on creating a physical space in which you are treated with love and respect by yourself firstly and by others. This beautiful fairy's appearance could also signal a remission in health issues Oh, good. Renewal and healing may be as simple as finding a quiet place near a still body of water and doing what you most love. Alternatively, be sure and follow the as within, so without greed. Create peace inside that, and that external peaceful place must manifest. So through meditation and nurturing the inner sanctuary, the external one shall appear. Yeah, yeah. So what is within, as in what you're emotionally expressing, um, you know, if it's through talking on your YouTube platform or whatever it is, if it's a way to send a message to you. And just remember, some of these messages are for sometimes just one specific person. It might not apply to the collective. It could be, this is a collective reading for fire signs, the Sagittarians in particular, Sagittarian, Leo, Aries. I've got Aries and Sagittarius in my chart, and a bit of Leo somewhere. So I have that fire, but I also have air, and then I have a whole bunch of placements in water in my natal chart. I've got 3 placements in all in water: Scorpio, Pisces, and what was that one? Cancer. I have placements in water. There's a book, and it's one of my favourite books. I got recommended it by a Scorpio, funny enough. And at the time I lived in Sydney, and I was working full time. I was going from one job in the morning, 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock I would go to my next job, because that's what you did to pay kids meet in Sydney. I didn't have the best of jobs, and I needed extra income in order to be able to exist and survive. I'm guessing people must need 3 or 4 jobs to do that now. But this was what I threw in the book in transport to my job. Memoirs of a Geisha, and it talks about her having too much water in her chart. It's just a beautiful book. He only ever wrote one book. It's called Arthur Golden. It's a beautiful, it talks about the tea ceremony. And I think it's why I'm bringing it up, because my son's going to Japan. And he's going to see these amazing things. And I said to him, you need to see a tea ceremony. I wish he was going in February, because that's when the cherry blossoms all come out. It's the whole thing. It's a national holiday. Like, everything's adorned with cherry blossoms. It's just amazing. I was in Okinawa, so that's a little tiny island that's famous for the Karate Kid. That's where they filmed it, at the Shuri Castle. I got to see that. I was so happy about that. It was the best thing that on my trip. I got to meet this beautiful family that took me to the Shuri Castle. I was over there because I fell in love with a military Air Force mechanic. He lived in Japan, and I went to see him. I said to my son, it's just magical. We landed in Osaka, and we went from Osaka to Okinawa. But I didn't get to Tokyo. He's going to Tokyo and all the castles. I'm so excited for him. But yeah, I think I'll be worried until he gets there. I think I'm starting to panic already. Because you can't get to him. Well, I can astral travel, but I don't want to start sleepwalking again. I did that last time. I went to Melbourne. Because when I'm really upset, I start to sleepwalk, because I'm looking for him in my sleep. I'm trying to find him. And it's difficult. I drew his hotel that he was staying at. And when he got back, he showed me all these pictures, and that was the hotel that I was going towards. I was worried about all the crime down in Melbourne. It was a lot of crime and drug wars, and so I was worried about it. But that's the end for the fire sign. I hope that helps someone out there. It is an emotional time.